Imran bin Muhammad Yusof, and today I will talk about the introduction. Ordinance is described as an official law or directive as well as a legislation established by a governing authority. Local administration were founded in Sabah by provision of the Local Government Ordinance 1961. The legislation established the outlines as well as the role and also the function of Sabah Municipal Council. A state ministry, which is the Ministry of Local Government and Housing, was created for the first time after the state election in 1963. The function is to govern the operation of local authorities in the state. Later, this ordinance may be quoted as the 1961 Local Government Ordinance. For the next is, Yang di-Pertuan Negeri may create a district council, town council or municipal council in any part of Sabah. It is the subject to the provision of this ordinance. It was required or appropriate for the purpose of local government. Aside from that, the certificate of the establishment is also required. As soon as the instrument providing for the establishment of an authority is published in the Gazette, the clerk of the cabinet shall provide the authority with a certificate. Other than that, the duty of all authorities in their local government also has been established by this local government legislation.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Fatuan bin Muhammad Rosli. Today I want to present function provisions of local government Sabah. First, power to accept gift. The Sabah local government has the right and jurisdiction under section 36 of the Local Government Ordinance 1961 to accept gift or property in the form of contribution or financial aid from any source. This gift or property can be put to good use in assisting the Sabah local government in carrying out its duties. This is because it can be used to carry out or improve community-wide projects such as improving the quality of public amenities and providing economic aid, particularly to the poor in rural areas. For example, the local government in Sabah can use the donation to develop health care facilities. The Sabah State Disaster Funds, for example, has received a total of 5.85 million ringgit Malaysia from the government-linked corporation GLCS to aid in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Second, public place, streets and others in urban areas. The authority has general management and maintenance of all public space such as playgrounds, parks and gardens in terms of their facilities as well as any damaged roads and streets according to section 38(1) of the Local Government Ordinance 1961 in Sabah. The authority can also open or restrict its usage for the benefit of the population, such as their regulation or the operating hours, subject to any terms and conditions set by the Yang di-Pertuan Negeri or any land donor during the granting of rights. The rights will also be entrusted to the authority as a trust to keep open or control its use for the benefit of the people, subject to any restriction and conditions set by the Yang di-Pertuan Negeri or any landowner during the granting of rights. During example, for any festival or Independence Day celebration or for building activity. However, the minister must approve everything that has been presented thus far.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Safwan bin Sufyan. Today I will present the third function provision of local government Sabah, which is power to contract. In the Sabah Ordinance 1961, There has been stated the function of the Sabah Authority that have the power to this contract making which is any contract necessary or desirable for the fulfillment of any of an authority responsibility under this or any other ordinance may be entered into. However, that an authority may not be established without the minister or cabinet period of concerns, as the case may be engaging into any transaction which a value more than the amount ordered by the cabinet in respect of such authority. Such standing order or direction shall require that notice of the authority intention to enter into the contract be published and tender invited, and regulated the manner in which such notice shall be published and such tender given for the execution of work valued at 2,000 ringgit and upwards. Following the 2015 earthquake, landform change occurred in the area of Ranau, causing the current bridge to collapse. Sabah local government has made submission of two compact value bridge project Ranau Sabah. The Sabah local government has the authority to give a contract to a contractor and an agency to manage the project. Ministry of Work has partnered with the Ministry of Defence and the Malaysia Armed Force to execute the building project of two compact Bailey Bridge. The Ministry of Work has been given clearance for a 15 million budget for this project. The project was handed over from the Ministry of Defence Malaysia to the Ministry of Work and then to Sabah Park, who will be the final user of these two bridges. This procedure enables the local government to obtain the best contract for the state government by submitting tender quotation for the year on the state government website. This will make it easy for the state government to choose the best contractor among the finance, as well as one of that is suitable and match the tender specification. This demonstrates how critical it is for local government to have the authority to select contractors to carry out their initiative. To summarize, a positive impression of local government help them to perform their task more efficiently, since they will get community collaboration, support and trust. That's all.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Saiful Hidayat bin Zuraidi. Okay, so for the next is about the financial power provision of local government in Sabah. The first point is about the fees. The fees is the sum that everyone must pay for the rights or service that they want or desire. The authority may levy any fees or charge for facilities, services supplied by the authority person to a resolution of the authority, such as a hospital, police station, fire station and etc. And for example is when someone goes to the hospital to take medicine for or have surgery performed by a professional or except doctor, the authority has to determine any facility service prices. To avoid fraud, the cost for the charge must be approved by the Ministry of the Government. Okay, for the next point is about the cost levied for facility services, license and permits will be utilized to fund economic development. The government will be in control of this aspect because they are in charge of overall development. For example, the money might be used to pay the cost recovery of new roadways in an urban area, because the urban region has a lot of people living there and the street must be acceptable for people to use. Okay, and the last point is about due to their considerable influence on boosting the Malaysian economy, fees are one of the most essential financial provisions in the Local Government Ordinance 1961. Okay, to maintain stable and enough resources for local communities, the process of decentralization in the public sector economy necessitates more financial flexibility. for local authorities to fully execute and apply decentralization capabilities. As a result, local government must be guaranteed that any taxes or charge for services, license and facility permits are imposed in order for them to have sufficient sources of money to carry out their tasks.
I want to talk about estimate of authority. To begin, the Sabah Local Government Ordinance 1961 has budgetary provisions known as estimates of authority. Each authority must provide thorough prediction of the authority's income and expenses for the upcoming financial year at least 3 months before the expiration of each jurisdiction, which is the official capacity to make legal decision and judgment. For this reason, the number will be presented directly during the authorities meeting. Every authority must send a copy of the annual estimates as accepted by the authority to the minister for approval before the start of each financial year, and if approved, a note of such approval must be published in the Gazette, which is journal or newspaper. The estimates will then be published or made available for review in accordance with the minister's instructions. If further budgetary arrangements are required, supplementary estimates must be submitted to the minister in the same manner through each fiscal year for approval. No authority may incur expenses that are not included in the budget authorized figures unless otherwise provided by minister or any member, officer or servant of the authority who has requested or agreed to use of money for reasons that are not legitimately applicable shall be accountable for an additional fee and for the money, provided that spending reallocations outside the limits of the permitted figures can be made without the authority's authorization or penalties. In this format, the yearly and supplemental figures must be prepared. It must include any specific information requested by the minister. The acceptance of the annual and additional data by the minister must be recorded in the authority's minutes. This would make it easier for the minister to plan and forecast the revenue and expenditure authority for the coming fiscal year in order to strengthen local government in Sabah. For example, the Ministry of Finance in Sabah is in charge of estimating the authority's expenditure and revenues. The Ministry of Finance develops policy to provide enough state income for spending adequate state financial reserves and overall management of state funds. Its goal is to provide the financial stability through responsible financial management and sound investment, allowing Sabah's economy to thrive. This is aimed at achieving financial stability so that the state of Sabah can continue to flourish and prosper. For example, Sabah Chief Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Syafiee Apdal proposed a budget surplus of RM4.14 billion, with petroleum, gas and palm oil royalties accounting for the majority of earnings. To summarize, the government estimation budget of authority is critical since it is a financial year statement that depicts the link between the project revenue and anticipated expenditure over the course of a fiscal year. The budget serves as a financial tool for the government to identify the actions it wishes to propose or carry out in a given year. It also a government strategy for forecasting revenue and expenses for the following days, months and years.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Najmi bin Muhammad Akbal. My metric number is 2019288952. I will present about one of the financial provision of the Sabah Local Government Ordinance 1961, which is audit of account. An audit is defined as a review or inspection of various account books by an auditor, followed by physical inventory verification to confirm that all departments use a recorded system of monitoring transaction. It is carried out to ensure the accuracy of the company financial statements. For example, the internal audit section of the Sabah State Treasury Department was established in 1981 and began operating under the Ministry of Finance on 1st July 2020. This was in response to the National Financial Council decision to establish an internal audit section for all state governments under the State Ministry of Finance. According to the Auditor General's Report 2018 Series 1, 13 out of the 29 ministries, departments and agencies of the Sabah State Government that were audited in 2018 were deemed to have excellent financial performance. To summarize, the audit scope will include financial statement auditing with the goal of certifying that the Government of Sabah annual financial statement comply with legal requirement and accounting standard. This is done to evaluate the financial system dependability and efficacy as well as the organization internal control.
For the conclusion, the Local Government Ordinance 1961 stated in detail on the power that are given to the Sabah local government. The power that are given to them need to be utilized efficiently for the purpose of well-being of the community in Sabah. The financial power that are given to the local authority in Sabah can make them be a more responsible and reduce the burden of the central government. It is because the local government can increase their revenue by using alternative way if the allocation of the budget that are be given by the central government is not enough. It will not be enabled for them to exercising their function effectively if the budget is not enough. Lastly, the power that are given to the local authority of Sabah should be used in the right way to improve the economy and also the development of Sabah effectively and efficiently. It is because Sabah can be a developed state just like another state in Malaysia.